Guardians are off tonight. Start up here at home against the White Sox. Tomorrow night, 7:10 is when your first pitch will happen. 6:30 something is Guardians Live to get you into the whole shebang. And then on to the weekend. There will still be a Bill Squire Friday Get Down tomorrow, as the name implies. Brought to you by Cleveland Whiskey. And, I have had over the course of the afternoon a number of people text and tell me they would love to show Poundcake around downtown Cleveland.
Are they cute?
They neglected to mention their looks in the texts. And since our text platform can't accept photos.
Oh, man.
They could always email.
You know what I could do is I could ask them if they're good looking. And then they would go, of course I am.
Pixar
People.
didn't happen.
What's that?
Pixar didn't happen.
Well, you'll ask some people. I've asked callers over the years just to goof around, are you cute? If it's germane to the conversation, right? Or are you good looking? Blah, blah, blah. And they'll invariably say either, oh, yeah, or there's no middle of the road. It's either, oh, yeah, or they'll go, eh. And then you pivot to, well, what celebrity do you look like? And for some reason, girls who would otherwise describe themselves as kind of meh, they always go with Amy Adams, who I think is lovely. But, these girls will go, I kind of look like Amy Adams. Nobody ever goes, I look exactly like Jennifer Aniston. If they have nice eyes, because what they'll do is they'll choose one feature of the celebrity. And they'll say, well, I have Angelina Jolie's eyes. And I go, whose rest of the face do you have?
Yeah, right.
Clint Howard or, not important to me, but for people who call in the midst of a conversation about people's looks, it's helpful to have. If you're listening on iHeartRadio from outside Ohio, tell me where you do that. We have a lot of bureau chiefs in the great city of Pittsburgh, Ohio. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Ohio. There's got to be a Pittsburgh, Ohio somewhere, right?
I don't know if there is. I don't know if that's allowed. I don't know if you can do that.
There's another one of these dudes who's threatening the FBI, a guy in Mercer County, Pennsylvania, which is over the border from Youngstown. It's about an hour north of Pittsburgh. It's way up there. It's past Slippery Rock.
Yep.
It's past Newcastle. Threatened to murder FBI agents after the Mar-a-Lago investigation.
Because they're just not being fair, Alan. They're just not being fair.
But everybody, and see, this is the thing too, is in true to form MAGA fashion, they always make it about themselves. There's never anybody that's like, well, this needs to be looked into. It's come and get me, you piece of crap feds. I'm going to effing slaughter you, right? So they scooped
And they're like, well, we weren't gonna, but now.
Yeah, now we were. You've asked
better
us to.
officer.
A 46-year-old guy who is a self-described adventure photographer. I guess he wasn't out adventuring or taking pictures at the time. Just having a little downtime on social media. And so he had to get a lawyer, and they're going through this whole thing, blah, blah, blah. After that dude did the same thing in Cincinnati, that guy ended up killing himself. I think, right? Shot himself there?
I thought
Or they get him?
I don't remember.
It's hard to keep track because there was a dude that drove his car into the bollards, I think is what they call them, in front of the Capitol. He ended up killing himself, but that was a guy they said had some mental issues. And but this guy outside Pittsburgh has got himself scooped up for, he's a big fan of coups, I guess, and so he wanted everybody to know. Speaking of coups, there's one.
I love coups, man.
Oh, God.
Coups out. Is that what you're talking about?
That's not what I'm talking
okay.
about. Not in the club magazine sense. That's not
gotcha.
what I'm talking about. No. I'm talking about the things that hold your drink and keep the little foam things that hold your can of beer.
Koozie.
Koozies. Yeah. Oh. No, this guy clearly was a big fan of coups. Of a coup. There is a coup that has happened right here in the state of Ohio. And I don't know if it's getting a lot of attention. But it's very interesting to me. They have ousted the Ohio Bratwurst Festival queen.
Oh, no. What? Wait.
Okay.
All right. Where is
There's a
the
girl,
Ohio Bratwurst festival queen crowned?
There's a girl by the name of Abigail Brockwell, who is the queen of the Bratwurst Festival. And they
I've
have
watched that video before, by the way.
Queen of the Bratwurst Festival. This is a different one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You still have coos on the brain.
Mm-hmm.
This is a girl who had her crown, much like, remember back in the day when it was a big scandal, when Vanessa Williams, actress and singer, she was Miss America and she's the first one in memory I can recall who had to give up her crown because she had taken naked pictures. Remember what a quaint time the 80s were?
Right.
Where if they found you with a pot cigarette, a jazz cigarette, or pot, you had to relinquish your crown. Naked photos in Penthouse. Oh, the scandal. She had to give up her crown as Miss America. Nothing like that here at the Bratwurst Festival. There's no naked photos or anything. But essentially, a coup there.
Was she seen eating a kielbasa?
Not that, no.
Not the right sausage.
But this had to go through the proper channels. There had to be a special meeting held by the Bratwurst Festival Board, for one thing. And she had to eventually give up her crown because she had visited some friends at another Bratwurst Festival. So this kind of clued me into the inner workings of these things. I didn't know.
So was there a non-compete? She can't even go to another one?
She can't
visiting.
because she represents this particular Bratwurst Festival. She attended the Baltimore Festival in Baltimore, Ohio. Not even Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah,
you know,
they're
Maryland.
They're not really Bratwurst fans out in Maryland. They're more
Crab fans.
Yeah, soft shell crab and stuff like that.
You know, Maryland, where Doug in Dundalk listens on the app. Anyway, Abigail Brockwell, I don't even know how old she is. She's probably older than she looks. She looks like she's about 13 years old, but I don't know how old she is. But she just had to relinquish her crown because she attended another festival. She wanted to go to a goodbye luncheon for outgoing royalty. That included someone that she had become good friends with. So she bought her own ticket. She wasn't dressed in her Bratwurst Festival regalia. There were no outward signs that she was the Bratwurst Festival queen. She wore her own dress. She didn't have access to her crown or her sash. She signed in under her own name. She didn't go, hey, get out of the way. I'm the Bratwurst Festival queen. She wasn't name-dropping or anything. She was going to another festival as a civilian. This festival apparently had a Bratwurst princess. This is very hard to follow. But I was fascinated by it, by the internecine workings of the Bratwurst Festival circuit.
She also made a statement.
She had to make a statement.
Yeah.
She thought when the Bratwurst board called her in for a special meeting, she thought she was attending a meeting to discuss the opening ceremonies. Instead, she was stripped of her crown by 7 board members. She was ordered to turn in the gifts that she got from sponsors or face criminal charges, is what they said. You will get facing criminal charges if you don't turn these in.
They take this Bratwurst Queen thing real serious.
Wow.
A little too serious.
Big Wiener is all over this. This got Big Sausage's fingerprints all over it. They say she violated her contract. Who knew you had a contract? You can't show up at any other. So she had to put out a statement thanking people for supporting her, that she traveled to all kinds of festivals in Ohio, went to all kinds of community events, met a lot of great people. No one should ever have to go through this, she said. So they removed her title, but she's grateful for all the memories she's made.
Well, I think she was the Brat Best, not the Bratwurst.
Bill Squire is going to be performing when? This weekend?
September 2nd and 3rd at the Funny Stop
right.
in Cuyahoga Falls. Get your tickets now. Big comedy special recording. Get those tickets. You can call 330-923-4700 or go to billsquire.com. Let's sell this out. I
Mm-hmm.
need you guys to help me sell this out to make this special truly that special.
I was going to say, you want to legitimately call it a special.
Yeah.
That's in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So we're getting close now.
Getting close.
So now this is where I need you guys to step up and get those tickets and come out. Because, again, I've said this before. I'm very proud of this material. It's very funny. It's dark. It's clever. It's original. So please get those tickets and come check out this show. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah. Alan, the Prime Minister of Finland is in a similar trouble, and she is Fuxi, not in the Scottish way. Fuxi. She's Fuxi. Yeah, this woman who I don't know if she's the youngest person ever elected to be Prime Minister of Finland, but she's got to be one of them. She's 36. Her name's Sanna Marin. She's really cute. And there's video of her at a party. She's dancing. She's singing. She's hanging out with her friends.
You know what's crazy?
And people are saying she took drugs.
Oh, there's always a new person that holds the world record for the world's youngest person.
Yes. There's always a world's youngest person.
Constantly changing hands.
It really is.
World's youngest.
She and her friends, including Finnish celebrities, who knew there were Finnish celebrities. And of course, when you're a politician, the people who don't like you, the opposition party, will always say she has to take a drug test. She says she did everything legal. I was dancing with some friends. Yeah, I had some drinks. And I was partying in a boisterous way.
Nice.
But I did not take any drugs.
Also, maybe I want to vote for somebody that's doing a little bit of drugs. I
Listen-
don't want them to be addicted to drugs, but I want to know they know how to have a good time. If somebody's on mushrooms or a psychedelic, I know that's not something they're doing all the time.
And
they're
who
just having a good
cares?
time.
Because on the one hand, people are always saying we need to get rid of these 80-year-old politicians, right?
Mhm.
This is true in every country.
And guess what? They're all on drugs. It's pharmaceuticals, but they're on them.
Yeah.
They got blood pressure,
Viagra,
medication, stuff like that. Yeah.
Paxil, whatever they're
Mhm.
on. She said, I danced, I sang, I partied. Those are all perfectly legal things. And I've never been in a situation where I've seen or known of others doing drugs. So get off my ass. However you say that in Finnish. Remove your shirt from my bottom. I don't know. Yeah, she's cute, though. Looks a lot younger than 36.
What's her name?
Her name is Sanna Marin, Marin, facing backlash for a video of this party. She's the Prime Minister of Finland.
Man, we gotta get it together. Joe Biden.
We got to get
Donald
some
Trump.
young, hot. This is
Right.
what they say
We
in
could-
this country.
we
They're
could
like,
have-
what is with these 80-year? Every country in the world is ahead of us in female heads of state. Thank you very much. There's countries in Africa that are on like their 3rd or 4th female head of state. We can't seem to get our heads around that. We need 80-year-old dudes running the show.
Sanna Marin is a babe.
Why do you think these countries, I mean, obviously it's for other reasons like universal health care and people not being worked to death, things like that. These are always the countries that are at the very top when they measure happiness in countries. At the very top, it's always Finland, Norway, Sweden, you know? People are like, yeah, but they pay all their money in taxes. Yes,
And they get great returns on it.
great return. We
We're-
pay a ton of money and we get no return.
No, it's all just going into the war machine. And not the cool one from Marvel.
And not the cool one from Kiss's Creatures of the Night.
I would love to see this woman talk. She just seems like she would have a very hot voice.
Yeah, but she's got that Finnish language, and that can be a hot accent, I guess.
If it depends on who it's coming out of. Like if it's coming out of a hot woman, is there any accent, no matter what the person looks like, the accent you just can't stand, Alan?
Listen, I soured on Australian, and I don't know why, because back in the day I thought it was great. But now every time I hear it, I'm like, Here's the former Prime Minister of Finland. This is the guy that she beat in the election. Yeah.
He let her up.
He really
did not
did.
hold back.
Man, do not translate that in front of your kids, or it's gonna.
In the macaroni. You stick it in the macaroni.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of expletives he was hurling at her, but yeah, we can't seem to. This country of 300, they said that any day now, the world population will crack 8 billion people.
That's too
Perfect
many people.
timing.
Too many people.
Too many people.
We don't even have enough tomatoes anymore.
It's about 5 billion too many people, all right? But in this country, what, 350 million people?
Yeah.
And yes, it's a very diverse country. You know, the other thing these other countries have, I won't say going for them, but a way in which they are very different and you can't compare, is they're all kind of the same people. They're all Finns in that country, or they're all Swedish in those countries, right? They don't have great records with people that don't look like them. Okay. So they are much more homogenous than this country. This is a very, is that Matze?
Yeah, Matze.
This is a very diverse country, and it's a very large country, right? So you can't really compare it to those countries. However, we just cannot get our heads around a woman running the show. Or anybody under 80. And that's because, obviously, politically, there is a giant machine that runs things.
Yep.
However, these are also other countries that have multiple political parties. Over here, you have Democrats and you have MAGA. That's all you have left. There's going to have to be something changing. But she's pretty cute. She's 36.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the.
And if but again, even over here, that window has, what do they call it, the Overton window? The more things that are in the public discourse, the more people get used to talking about. You know, Clinton used to say, I smoked, but I didn't inhale. That was a whole thing. He didn't inhale, and nobody believed him. Move along, George W. Bush did cocaine.
Yeah.
And then
Obama
Obama, he's like,
cocaine,
I
yeah.
smoked a lot of weed in college, and, you know, I don't know if cocaine's part of his story, too.
And then Trump hung out with pedophiles. I mean, so did Clinton.
I was
So,
going to say, they
Right.
were the same guy.
They were way into Jeffrey Epstein.
Biden, he's like, hung out. Never mind.
What?
Nothing.
Oh.
The MAGA fans will get it. They love me. They appreciate me and my jokes at
They
Biden.
do love, but yeah,
Mhm.
well, he's a Trump guy. They do love him.
I would-
He's the guy they can look to and go, well, I have a black friend.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill that guy.
He won't walk around downtown with me, but he is black.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to live.
Yeah.
I'm watching this current world population world clock. It's actually pretty interesting. Like it just keeps
You
going
see the
up.
number going up?
Well, it gives you the births this year, the deaths this year, and then like currently it's 7,968,408,138, and then those two just keep flickering back and forth. But yeah, no, it's cool.
Alan, have you taken a look at the Astros White Sox game? You know, the White Sox are not setting themselves up as they start up here in Cleveland, kind of the battle for first place. Cleveland's comfortably in first place, but the White Sox are getting there. Astros are a great team this season, too. They just played the White Sox, just finished the game. 21-5.
Ooh-wee.
The Astros beat my White Sox.
I think that qualifies as an ass whooping.
Yeah. Is there no mercy rule in Major League Baseball?
There is not.
21-5.
And 5 is a good amount of runs to score in a baseball game.
Yeah.
But 21. Damn.
10 unanswered runs in the first 4 innings for the Astros.
And then they still scored 11 more.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a rough day.
That is a rough day for the Chicago White Sox, but they're coming to Cleveland, and that'll make anybody feel good, quite frankly, right? And get a little lost on that trip. But here in Cleveland, even if you're not a White Sox fan, and I'll be out of town, so I won't be able to cheer for them, but we will still, here in Cleveland, we will still treat you with the respect that, I'm sorry, that only Clevelanders
You don't deserve
can't afford. I'm sure they won't troll you at all coming off a 21-5 loss. I'm sure no one, which is going to make it even worse if the White Sox then come to town and start beating the Guardians.
I doubt it.
But they say,
21 runs? Come on.
any given Thursday. We've got to take a break. If you want to get the last word in, send me a text, 35192 to do that. Is it the Corey Roddick Experience tonight? Oh, my God, it is. The Corey Roddick Experience tonight after 6:30 with no Guardians baseball. You are in for a treat. So we'll take a break here, and we'll be back.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app or whatever smart device you have.
Just tell me to play the Alan Cox Show on iHeartRadio.
This is Super Bowl champion Alfred Williams. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports